The structure I shared today is based on using sound as the platform for presenting a literary creation. Jenks 2010 said, "With the changing communication landscape, it is more important than ever that schools encourage students to produce texts that matter to them in different formats and for different audiences and purposes, and that allow them to draw on and extend from their range of semiotic resources." So, this is how this might work for your class. Number 1, determine what your classroom recording studio will be. Depending on your class, you may even design and build a studio in your classroom, a corner where students can go and practice in relative privacy. Number 2, determine what your principal recording device will be. With permission, you may even be able to send out a call to colleagues in your school or parents for unused phones. Simple, free audio recording apps may be downloaded. Number 3, let the podcast begin. Set aside rich idea generation time. Ask students to jot down or talk about what interests them. Or you could do a probing exercise where you provide students questions to ask each other, maybe silly questions where they can get very specific details on the things that fascinate them. Number 4, create limits for each podcast, asking the students to come up with a show that includes 3 episodes of 1 minute each. They should decide the 3 episodes of 3 subtopics of their topic of choice. And they should also decide a structure because podcast varies in style depending on the choice and purpose of the creator. Number 5, select an RSS feed or a podcast app such as SoundCloud, where you can compile a class podcast that is really published and available online. This is much easier to do than it sounds. And finally, number 6, make time to celebrate as a class. For example, lights low, popcorn, and a day for listening to each other's content. Or students could rotate in small groups at stations. But most of all, don't forget to take the time to reflect on the amazing process that is required from the students for using this structure.